What's up, everyone? A little bit of an update. It's been a couple months since I've done much because it's been brutally hot outside. So, and then we had a move shop, as you can see. So, got air conditioning now. Nice epoxy floor, so you don't make a mess. I actually feel like I can get on the floor and not come up filthy. But since we've been here, we went ahead and permanently mounted the motor. Now what I got to do is start working on where the steering rack's going to go, how the steering shaft is going to move. But in order to do that, I got to start mounting the seat. Well, I'm actually going to mount the seat. I think I'm just going to temporarily put the seat in there. We're about where it's going to be. Oh, I did the transmission mount. Obviously I got a little hot right there because some trash got on the metal, or it was in the metal that I didn't clean well enough, and then it just took a lot of heat to burn it in. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I was pretty irritated because I had a pretty nice weld going before then. Anyway, put the seat in there, get it kind of sitting where I think it's going to be, or at least real close to it, so that I can figure out exactly where the steering column is going to go, and then we can get the direction and the path of the steering shaft, which in turn will allow me to realize where this thing right here is going to end up. Because as you can see, you know, with race cars, it's like literally fractions of an inch make a difference, and this is no exception. So you can see this adjustment screw right here. That is to, I think it's to adjust the oil pressure on the pump. Anyway, it's a Allen headed screw with a set nut, so I'm assuming that's what it is anyway. So now I got to figure out, okay, how's this shaft going to run? And if it runs out right here, you can see how close it is to all these oil lines. And I can put a stabilizer in there and then have another U-joint come off. But it's going to be, anyway, that's what's going to make difference here on where this thing sits. Is it going to have to come out? Is it going to have to go further in? I don't know yet. So, and then even like this right here, look how close this fitting is. I've got this screw out because I think what I'm going to do is I bought some countersunk bolts, and I'm going to countersink this hole and actually put countersink bolts in here just to give me more room. That's what I mean by fractions of an inch, because they come with these regular cap heads, so, or these regular bolt heads. So anyway, let me get back to it and I'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, it's been a long time, and actually I haven't edited any videos, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to find some time to do some, but I figured I'd give another update on where the car's at. We got the tubs painted and put in. We did this hammered black look, which I kind of like because I think it'll go good with the carbon fiber inserts here. So where I'm at now is I did a lot of the tunnel here. Still got to seam fill some of this area and try to make it look decent. Made a removable cover here for the side of the transmission. Still, obviously, I'm working on the firewall. We had to notch it to move. Notch it for the motor because the intake and the head's kind of like good size, so we're gonna notch that, but we're keeping the factory firewall. Would have been way easier just to build a whole new firewall, trust me. So now I'm working on this side over here and kind of having to turn that over there, that little empty void, into something that looks decent. So these scallop strips, and basically I made this area over here just flat to kind of close it off. And then of course I still gotta put scallop strips here, and a piece of carbon will go right there, and put the floors in and just start closing it all up. I mean, it's close, but it's far, you know, it's just time consuming. So that's the way that inside looks over here. So I started doing the same thing on this side, and man, sometimes you start getting into stuff and you start finding things And so yeah, this started kind of cleaning up the area where I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and realize, man, this fender is like a lot of it was gone. So I had to take a piece of sheet metal, kind of lay it in here, and this will all get bonded up again. But you can see, man, look how thick the Bondo is here, where I guess I don't think I hit here or what. This is definitely pre-me. Fun fact, I found out this car belonged to Chris Hamilton. It was his first Mustang. Talk about a small world. But so anyway, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna make a piece that will kind of come in here, look like this fender lip, and then that way I can get to building the inside pieces and get it all closed off. So that's what I'm getting ready to start messing with now. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so just do like a rough draft here. Kind of get a good idea of shape. Like I said, and I'll draw it out roughly and then kind of put it up there, see where it's at, see where it's lacking, and then I'll add or take away or whatever I got to do at that point. So alright, so you can see what I did was just came in here and it was lacking a little bit right here, so I just taped some pieces on where I wanted them. And so now what I'll do is I'll just tape these on, make sure they're good and secure. And then, man, I can go lay it on the carbon and cut it out, and it's pretty, usually it ends up pretty exact. Like I said, I'm going to add a little bit up here just to cover this. Try to make it look a little cleaner. But not too disappointed with that. So I'll just trim up like this little piece down there. I'll trim that up and make sure I don't have any issues with it, and lay it on there and cut it out. See what happens. Alright, so it's fitted in there. Like I said, the floor is probably going to sit up about at least right there, so it's going to cover a big majority of this. And I think we're going to paint the inside this same hammered black, which I like. So but it came out alright. This protective sheet that's on here will come off, and man, it looks nice. This carbon, it looks like this whenever the plastic sheet's off of it. Real glossy and pretty. So it'll dress up a little real nice. I just got to get in here and drill the holes, Cleco it in, and then actually I'm gonna have to really drill the holes right now. I'm gonna probably get onto something else. I'm gonna start that other side. Try to get that other side completely knocked out today, like this side. Then the front part of the tubs will be done. Then I gotta start moving to the back and figure out what I'm gonna do back there, but I'm not too unhappy with how this came out. It looks good. So got that piece in. It's kind of a pain. That was probably the hardest piece, just because of the way it makes this bend right here. Like I said, it was a great idea putting this bar in there until you have to do that. But oh, it's okay. It turned out all right. So I'll tidy up some stuff up underneath, and like I said, once this plastic protector comes off, it'll look pretty shiny and nice. So anyway, I gotta look for a piece of the two-sided strips. I couldn't imagine I already used all of it, that one piece, but
shut up and sit down.
whenever you are short on sheet metal and it's hard to get, there you go. Get it from the body shop. Tries to find you some flat panels.